So this is a good question. This is actually where we are with the Anacrusis. We're self-published. So why would you want a publisher? Let's kind of go through it. Well, first, money. You need money from somewhere, right? So, a small game is $3 million these days, right? Like multiple people. If you're a single solo developer, that's different, right? Some under 10. And now you're seeing some people raising money from VCs for $70, $80 million. Oh yeah, right? That's a lot of risk. But from publishers, you don't normally see that kind of money. Not for smaller devs, right? You're seeing sub 10 million. There's a set of publishers that are 3 million and lower. There's 3 to 5, and then 5 to 10, and then above. Like Private Division, I think wants to be above 10. So there's money, just pure money. Sure, you'll do that, right? Let's say you have the money. Why else would you want a publisher? Well, they have access to information so that they can understand what's happening in the market and help you understand. That's good. That is often an overlooked thing of, I'm a dev, I'm making my game, but how I approach marketing, how I approach platforms, how I approach a bunch of different things. I only have my personal information. Now, previously I had Steam and I could see all that, but already that's getting old, right? And we see things like Game Pass being super disruptive. I could talk about, I actually gave a bunch of information to some publishers about that to help them. Because it's always good to talk with each other. Okay, so you have that. Right, and then there's introduction to platforms. So if you're really young, you're really new in the industry, and you don't know people, and you can't pick up the phone and call Chris Charla, or Greg Rice or Shu, you're gonna want somebody to help you introduce and do that. So that was this weird thing then where the publishers are actually finding platforms to pay for the publisher thing. It's all weird, right? Everyone has a different deal. But there's a lot of that, right? We didn't need that. I know those people. So we could work out a deal with Game Pass and Chris, and there's a whole team behind them, not just Chris. Hi, Chloe. So all of that's happening, right? And then there's QA is another one that they'll often do. They'll often do a lot of things like that. Like we got burned on our QA. We did our QA on our own. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. I wish we had spent zero on it because we probably would have gotten the same results. Same with localization. It was all painful. And that's stuff publishers often handle, and that didn't go well for us. But we spent money for it. That's an aggravating thing, right? Because the consumer looks at it and goes, "Oh, you guys don't care about this." And we're like, "Oh my god, we spent so much money on this." Okay, so there's that. And then marketing's the big one, right? Now, so marketing is the one that, like, you have a bunch of information as a publisher, you can see what works and doesn't work. But I just keep saying most publishers just go back and go, yeah, we're going to pay streamers a bunch of money. Now they have the war chest spread across all their bets that they can afford to do that. We can't. We can't just spend a lot of money on streamers. If you're a streamer and you want to stream our game, we'll give you gifts, we'll give you things, we'll give you giveaways, we'll put stuff in the game that's just for you. We put people's dogs in the game, all kinds of stuff. Because we have no money, but we can do that, right? Like, so we can do some fun stuff. So if you're a streamer, let me know. Even if you're a small streamer, don't worry. I want to help you out too. But like that's the kind of stuff we can do. But they can just plunk down a bunch of money, and all of a sudden, like, you see all these little mid-tier games come out, right? And all of a sudden they have a bunch of streamers playing it. It's not that it's an exciting new game. They're paying them for it, right? I mean, I think of the Evil Dead game. Paid a bunch of streamers. There's no way they had all those streamers for free, right? That one I don't know for sure, but yeah, I know for sure. Right? Other ones I know directly. Like, people tell me, yeah, we paid those streamers. And it's a saturated place now where what else can we do? What's the weird thing we can do? What's the wacky thing we can do? And some publishers are with you on that. They're like, yeah, let's do something nuts. And others are like, yeah, no, this is what we do. We're going to take out an ad in PC Gamer. We're going to do this. We're going to do some marketing on Facebook. Don't market on Twitter, by the way. Like, don't. Man, I see people's games next to just horrific right-wing Nazi content. And, like, you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to fund those people. That's what you're doing now. You're funding them. So don't do that. Meta, I don't care for either, but I get the ad by there, right? Or Google, whatever. Like, they're all stealing your information. All right, but where do we go? All right. But so there's marketing. There's things they know about marketing. There's things that can help you with marketing. And then they can also then help you survive that initial, okay, we got to dig out of this hole. What do? We got to do that ourselves, right? That's where we still are. But they can help you with that and help with some guidance with that. So for game 2, we actually are looking at a publisher and saying, hey, maybe we should get some help here because A, they're going to help us with kind of the early days of making sure we're making the right thing for where the market is right now, how to approach it. Like, there's a whole bunch of things I don't have that information anymore. I'm kind of interested in and getting that feedback loop with somebody. But also then we're like, hey, you know what? Anacrusis is launching this November. If it takes off and it can sell, it can be, we're going to keep working on that. We're going to keep updating that, right? We're not just going to launch it and let it go. We have a bunch of updates planned after that. But as with those, if we can also then fund enough to keep that going, and then we can start the picture game too, because at some point you have to start thinking these questions of like, what do we do next? Because this game can't keep us surviving, or this game's good at surviving, but it's plateaued where it's at. We can keep investing some money into it, and definitely updates and all of that. But we also have to be looking towards the future of like, should we try game 2? What have we learned? What can we take to there? And so, like, those are all things that are wrapped up, and we kind of have this question ourselves. And we do talk to publishers. If you're a publisher, you want to chat, let me know. More than happy to talk about this, and more than happy to talk about weird, strange things we could try to do. Like, should we just do all the development right here on this channel and talk about it every single day? What we're doing, we kind of do that now, kind of. I mean, it's kind of just a lot of stuff's just boring that we're doing the same topic. I'm still hooking up audio. I'm slow, but yeah. So it's a good question, and it changes every day. So we'll see, because I think a lot of publishers are in this weird spot where they don't know what works quite right now, and they don't know what's the right size of investment, and yeah, we're gonna see.